Good morning/afternoon/evening, beautiful souls. Today I stand before you with a simple message. You are the sum of the choices you make. Every moment, every decision you make is an opportunity to rewrite your story, to redefine who you are and what you can become. The path to greatness begins with that one choice, the choice to rise. I know that life hasn't always been kind. We've all faced challenges, heartbreaks, and moments when we thought we wouldn't make it through. But I want to remind you today that your story isn't over. Your obstacles, they don't define you. Your choice does. It's easy to feel defeated, to let the weight of the world bring you down. But let me tell you something. Vulnerability is your strength. The moments when we feel broken are not our weakest moments. They are the birthplaces of our greatest power. When you choose to stand tall, even in your brokenness, you show the world just how unbreakable you are. And in that strength, you don't just transform yourself, you transform those around you. The world needs you. You are a spark, a beacon of hope and possibility for someone who feels like they've lost their way. Your courage to rise, to be resilient, is the inspiration someone else needs to rise to. So today, I urge you to make a choice. Choose to be unstoppable. Choose to rise, because the world is waiting for you to step into your power. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. Your time is now. Remember, it's not the obstacles in your life that determine your fate. It's the decisions you make in the face of them. Choose to be a force for good, a force of strength and a force of change. Let's rise together. Life is an ongoing journey shaped by the decisions we make moment by moment. Every single choice we face, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, has the power to steer the course of our lives. Whether we realize it or not, we hold within us the ability to decide who we want to be, how we want to live, and where we want to go. Each choice, whether it's in a fleeting second or a life-altering moment, carries the potential for greatness. Today I want to remind you of that power, the power of choice, the power that you hold within yourself to rise above the obstacles that life presents. When we look at our lives, we often see the result of countless decisions made over the years. Some decisions were easy, others were difficult, but all of them have contributed to the story that is unfolding. Think about it for a moment. Every person who has reached a place of success, fulfillment, or peace has done so because they made a choice. A choice to show up, to take action, and to believe in themselves even when the world around them suggested otherwise. This is where the power lies, not in the external circumstances, not in the events that unfold, but in the choices we make in response to them. It's easy to become passive in life, to feel as if we're simply victims of fate or circumstance. Many of us have faced hardships, and some may feel as though life has dealt them a hand that's difficult to overcome. But this is where we often miss the mark. Life doesn't shape us by the things that happen to us, but by how we choose to respond to them. Think about the challenges you've encountered. Have they shaped you, or did you allow them to hold you back? It's the choices you made in those moments that define who you are today. Each day presents us with new opportunities to choose to be brave or to shrink back, to choose to move forward despite the fear, or to stay stagnant in the comfort of what's familiar. And though the choices may feel overwhelming at times, there is incredible freedom in knowing that we always have the ability to choose. Even when we don't have control over the external world, we always have control over our internal world. We have the power to choose our thoughts, our reactions, and ultimately the direction our lives take. There will always be challenges. That's a given. Life will never be without its difficulties. The truth is that obstacles are part of the human experience. But what separates those who rise from those who remain stagnant is not the presence of challenges, but how they approach them. Those who choose greatness, those who choose to rise above the obstacles, don't let adversity define them, they let it fuel them. They understand that every setback, every hardship is simply a stepping stone towards something greater. They don't see obstacles as roadblocks. They see them as opportunities for growth and transformation. And this is the key. The choice to see challenges as opportunities. When we choose to rise, we acknowledge that no matter how tough the road ahead might seem, we are capable of overcoming it. We choose to focus not on the difficulties, but on the possibilities. We choose to believe in our own strength and resilience, knowing that we have the ability to navigate whatever life throws our way. And this belief in ourselves is crucial. It's the foundation upon which all other choices are built. But it's not just about overcoming obstacles. It's also about choosing to embrace the discomfort that growth often requires. Too often we shy away from the things that scare us, the things that challenge us to step outside of our comfort zones. But it's in those moments of discomfort that we grow the most. It's when we choose to face our fears head on, to step into the unknown, that we find our true potential. The choice to rise is a choice to embrace the discomfort, to acknowledge that the path to greatness is not always easy, but it's always worth it. In every decision, there is an opportunity to build a future that aligns with who we are and what we want to become. The life you dream of, the success you seek, the peace you desire, it all begins with a choice. And every time you make a choice that aligns with your vision, you move one step closer to that dream. It might take time, it might require effort and perseverance, but every choice you make today shapes your tomorrow. And that, my friends, is a beautiful thing to realize. So as you move through the days ahead, remember that you have the power to choose. You have the power to rise above whatever is standing in your way. You have the power to choose greatness, not just for yourself, but for those around you. Because when you choose to rise, you inspire others to do the same. The ripple effect of your choices can change not just your life, but the lives of others too. The impact of choosing greatness is far-reaching, and it starts with the simple act of choosing. Your life is a collection of the choices you make. And today, you are presented with the greatest choice of all, the choice to rise above the limitations, to rise above the obstacles, and to rise into the greatness that is already within you. You have everything you need to succeed, to grow, and to become the person you are destined to be. It all begins with a choice. So choose and rise. Transformation is a powerful word, one that invokes images of radical change and personal growth. It's easy to look at someone who has achieved success, overcome adversity, or grown into their true potential and think, they're different. They've always been like this. But the reality is that transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's not a sudden shift, nor is it a simple path to follow. True transformation starts with a single decision. The decision to believe in yourself. And that decision, though simple, is the one that has the power to completely change the trajectory of your life, regardless of where you've been or what you've faced in the past. For many of us, the idea of change feels overwhelming. We look at where we are, at our past struggles, and we wonder, how can I possibly change? How can I become someone different when I've been stuck in these circumstances for so long? These feelings are natural, but they also create barriers. They make us believe that transformation is something that happens only for others, not for us. But the truth is, change starts within. It begins when you make the decision to believe that you are capable of becoming something more than what you've been, regardless of your past. One of the biggest misconceptions about transformation is that it's a sudden, dramatic event. We often romanticize the idea of a before and after moment, the moment where everything clicks into place and we are forever changed. But real transformation is not an instant result. It's a journey that takes time, effort, and dedication. It's about making consistent, small choices that align with the person you want to become. It's about committing to growth every single day, even when the results aren't immediately visible. The first step in this process is deciding to believe in yourself. It sounds simple, but for many people, it's the hardest part. We've all been conditioned by our past experiences, by society's expectations, and by the people around us. These influences shape how we see ourselves, often in ways that are limiting. We internalize failures, rejections, and mistakes, allowing them to define who we are. We look at where we've been and think, this is all I'm capable of, forgetting that our past does not dictate our future. The decision to believe in yourself is not about ignoring your past. It's about choosing to rise above it. It's acknowledging that your past struggles, though they may have been difficult and painful, do not define you. They are simply chapters in your story, not the whole narrative. When you decide to believe in yourself, you are saying, I am not my past, I am my potential. This belief is the foundation of all transformation. It's the seed from which everything else will grow. Once you make the decision to believe in yourself, the journey begins. But it's important to understand that transformation is not a linear process. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments when you question your decision to change. You will face resistance, both from external forces and from within. But these moments of doubt are not signs that you're failing. They are part of the process. Transformation requires you to push through discomfort, to challenge old habits and mindsets that no longer serve you. It's about stepping into the unknown, trusting that even when the path isn't clear, you're moving towards something better. As you continue on this journey, the key is consistency, The small, everyday decisions you make, what you choose to believe about yourself, the habits you develop, the actions you take, will compound over time. Transformation is the result of these incremental changes. It's not about making one huge leap. It's about making one step at a time, each one leading you closer to the person you're meant to be. This process of transformation requires patience and self-compassion. It's easy to become frustrated when we don't see immediate results, but real growth often happens quietly, behind the scenes. The shift happens internally long before it's visible to others. It's in the way you start to view yourself and the world around you. It's in the small victories, the moments when you choose to believe in yourself despite your doubts, when you decide to take action despite your fear. These small moments of courage are the building blocks of a transformed life. Along the way, you will encounter moments that test your resolve. You may face situations that feel familiar, situations where you've stumbled before. It's easy in these moments to think, this is it, I can't do this, I'll never change. But this is where the power of belief truly comes into play. It's in these moments, when everything inside you wants to give up, that the decision to believe in yourself becomes your most powerful tool. You can choose to see these challenges as opportunities to grow, not as signs of failure. You can choose to view setbacks as lessons, rather than evidence that you're incapable of change. The beauty of transformation is that it's not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about choosing to continue even when the path is hard, even when you don't see immediate results. It's about embracing the idea that growth is not about being flawless, but about being persistent. Every time you choose to believe in yourself, you're moving closer to the person you want to become. And with each step forward, you'll begin to notice that the person you once were, the person you thought was stuck or incapable, is starting to fade away. In their place is someone new, someone who has the power to create the life they deserve. In the end, transformation is about self-empowerment. It's about taking the reins of your own life and deciding that you are worthy of change. The decision to believe in yourself is the beginning of everything. It's the key to unlocking your potential, to stepping into a future that is shaped not by the limitations of your past, but by the possibilities of who you can become. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, something to hide or avoid, something to protect ourselves from. We live in a world where strength is equated with being tough, unbreakable, and invincible. The idea of vulnerability can feel counterintuitive in this context. But what if I told you that true strength is not about never feeling pain or fear? What if the real power comes not from pretending to be invulnerable, but from embracing vulnerability with courage and grace? What if the challenges we face, the difficulties we endure, and the moments when we feel most exposed are, in fact, the very things that make us stronger? Embracing vulnerability is not about being weak, it's about being human. To be vulnerable is to allow ourselves to truly experience life, to acknowledge our feelings, to confront our fears, and to open ourselves up to growth. Vulnerability is not a flaw. It is a source of deep strength. It takes immense courage to be vulnerable. It takes strength to stand in the face of our fears, to let down our guard, and to be honest with ourselves and others about our struggles. It's easy to put on a mask and pretend that everything is okay, to hide behind the facade of strength. But the truth is, it's in the moments when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable that we grow the most. When we face challenges, whether they are emotional, physical, or mental, vulnerability becomes our bridge to growth. Life is not a smooth ride. It is full of ups and downs, twists and turns, and unexpected obstacles. But it is through these challenges that we learn who we truly are and what we are capable of. Every challenge we face tests us, but it also offers us the opportunity to become stronger. The key is how we respond to these challenges. We can choose to shut down, to avoid the discomfort, to run from vulnerability, or we can choose to lean into it, to embrace it, and to see it as a part of our journey. Vulnerability is often associated with feeling exposed, with putting ourselves in a position where we might get hurt. And yes, being vulnerable means opening ourselves up to the possibility of pain, but it also means opening ourselves up to the possibility of profound growth and connection. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we invite the opportunity for deeper relationships, for true understanding, and for healing. We stop hiding from our pain and start addressing it, which is the first step toward healing. Vulnerability allows us to release the shame and fear that hold us back and step into the fullness of who we are meant to be. There is power in owning our vulnerability. When we embrace it, we stop pretending to be something we are not, and we stop allowing our fears and insecurities to dictate our actions. Instead, we take control of our narrative. By acknowledging our vulnerability, we acknowledge that we are worthy of love, acceptance, and understanding, just as we are, flaws and all. In a world that often tells us we must be perfect, vulnerability is an act of rebellion. It is a declaration that we are enough, even in our imperfections. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we stop seeing challenges as something to avoid. Instead, we start seeing them as opportunities to learn and grow. Challenges, whether they come in the form of failure, heartbreak, loss, or fear, are part of the human experience. No one is immune to them. But the difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck is how they approach those challenges. People who embrace vulnerability understand that challenges are not the end. They are a step in the process of becoming stronger, more resilient, and more connected to our true selves. Vulnerability also opens the door to empathy and connection. When we share our struggles with others, when we allow ourselves to be seen in our most authentic form, we give others permission to do the same. It's in these moments of shared vulnerability that we find common ground, that we realize we are not alone in our pain or in our journey. The connection that forms through vulnerability is one of the most powerful bonds we can have with others. It allows us to offer and receive support, to share our stories, and to lift each other up. But perhaps the greatest strength we gain through vulnerability is the ability to rise from our struggles. When we allow ourselves to feel pain, fear, or sadness, we are not giving up. We are not giving in to weakness. Instead, we are building our resilience. We are proving to ourselves that we are capable of facing the most difficult parts of ourselves and coming out stronger on the other side. Vulnerability allows us to be fully human. It allows us to feel deeply, to experience life in all its fullness, both the highs and the lows, and to learn from each moment. The beauty of embracing vulnerability is that it frees us. It frees us from the pressure to be perfect, from the fear of being judged, and from the need to always have it all together. It frees us to be honest with ourselves, to face our flaws, and to accept that we are not defined by our mistakes or our fears. Instead, we are defined by how we choose to rise above them. Every time we embrace vulnerability, we are choosing to be real, to be authentic, and to be empowered by the very challenges that life throws our way. In the end, vulnerability is not a weakness, it is the foundation of true strength. It is the courage to face our fears, the willingness to learn from our mistakes, and the openness to connect with others on a deeper level. It is the power to rise above our struggles and to use them as stepping stones toward becoming the best version of ourselves. Vulnerability is not something to be ashamed of, it is something to embrace. It is the key to unlocking our inner strength and living a life that is authentic, connected, and powerful. Each and every one of us holds within us the power to impact the world in ways we may not even realize. We often look at the great figures in history or the people who seem to have everything together and think, I can never be like them. We compare ourselves to others, feeling as though we don't have the same reach or influence. But the truth is, the ability to impact the world doesn't lie in the magnitude of what we do, but in the authenticity of our actions and the choices we make every day. Our actions, however small they may seem, ripple out into the world and affect those around us in ways that can never be fully measured. The power to impact others comes from one simple truth: we all influence the people we encounter. Whether we realize it or not, the way we carry ourselves, the way we treat others, and the way we live our lives leaves a lasting impression. Every day, we are presented with opportunities to choose the path that will not only impact our own lives, but also inspire others to choose the same path of growth, kindness, and resilience. Our journey is not just our own, it has the potential to influence the journeys of everyone we encounter along the way. It's easy to think that changing the world requires grand gestures or monumental achievements, but in reality, the most powerful impact we can have often comes from the simplest actions. A kind word to a stranger, a helping hand when someone is in need, a smile when someone is feeling down. These small acts of kindness are often the things that change lives. You never know how much someone may need just that one act to shift their perspective, to give them hope, or to inspire them to keep going. When you choose to show up in the world with kindness and authenticity, you're already making a difference. But impacting others goes beyond just acts of kindness. It's about choosing the right path for yourself, living with integrity, and aligning your actions with your values. When you live authentically, when you make decisions that are rooted in who you truly are, you become a beacon of possibility for others. People are drawn to authenticity. They want to see someone who is unapologetically themselves, someone who is not afraid to follow their own path, even when it's not the easiest or most popular choice. When you live in alignment with your values, you give others permission to do the same. Every person you encounter is affected by your energy, your choices, and your attitude. Think about the people in your life who have impacted you. More often than not, it wasn't their grand achievements or their outward success that left an impression on you. It was their character, the way they carried themselves, the way they treated you and others. It was their ability to inspire you through their words, their actions, or simply through the way they lived. This is the impact we all have. The ability to inspire others not by what we say, but by who we are and how we choose to live. When you choose to walk a path of integrity, honesty, and compassion, you set an example for others to follow. Your actions become a silent but powerful form of leadership. You don't need a title or a platform to be a leader. True leadership is about showing up authentically, about making choices that align with your values, and about being someone others can look to for guidance. Whether you realize it or not, people are watching. They see how you handle adversity, how you treat others, how you face challenges, and how you stay true to yourself. And in doing so, you become a source of inspiration, someone others can look to for encouragement as they navigate their own journey. Impacting others is also about the way we handle our own struggles and challenges. Life is full of ups and downs, and we all face hardships along the way. But it's not the struggles themselves that define us, it's how we respond to them. When we face adversity with grace, resilience, and a positive outlook, we show others that it's possible to rise above difficulties. Our ability to keep moving forward, to maintain our strength in the face of challenges, encourages others to do the same. We may never know the full extent of the impact we have on others, but by choosing to remain strong and resilient in our own journey, we give others the courage to stay strong in theirs. This ripple effect of impact is one of the most beautiful things about the human experience. Each person we encounter has the ability to influence the people around them. And when we choose to live in a way that is positive, uplifting, and full of integrity, we create a wave of inspiration that spreads far beyond our own circle. Our actions create a chain reaction, inspiring others to act with kindness, to pursue their dreams, and to live authentically. The world doesn't change through one person's efforts alone. It changes when each person takes responsibility for their own impact and makes conscious decisions to be a force for good. There's a profound truth in the idea that we rise by lifting others. The more we choose to inspire and uplift those around us, the more we ourselves are uplifted. When we show up for others, when we offer support, encouragement, and love, we are not only making a difference in their lives, but also enriching our own. The impact we have on others comes back to us in the form of deeper connections, stronger relationships, and a sense of fulfillment. By choosing to inspire and lead with love, we create a cycle of positive energy that ripples out into the world. At the end of the day, each person has the potential to impact the world around them. It's not about fame or recognition. It's about the choices we make every day to live authentically, to act with kindness, and to lead by example. By choosing the right path for ourselves, one of integrity, compassion, and resilience, we inspire others to do the same. And in this way, we create a world that is richer in love, connection, and possibility. It's a world where each of us has the power to make a difference, no matter how small it may seem. And that is the true beauty of human connection. Resilience is a powerful force that exists within every one of us. It is the ability to recover, to rise, to push forward when life knocks us down. It is the quiet strength that emerges when we are faced with adversity and find the courage to keep going. Resilience is not something we are born with. It is something we develop, cultivate, and strengthen through the challenges we face. It is not the absence of fear or doubt. It is the decision to keep moving forward despite them. It is the realization that our circumstances do not define us, and that our ability to rise above adversity is what truly shapes our lives. Life is not always easy. We all face moments of hardship, times when we feel like giving up, when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear. There are moments when fear, doubt, and uncertainty overwhelm us, and the path ahead seems impossible. It is in these moments that resilience is born. It is in the face of adversity, when we are tested and pushed to our limits, that we discover what we are truly capable of. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties. It's about facing them head-on and continuing to move forward, even when the odds seem stacked against us. The power of resilience lies in our ability to rise above our fears and doubts. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that can hold us back. It whispers to us, telling us we're not good enough, that we'll never succeed, that we should give up before we even start. Doubt follows closely behind, planting seeds of uncertainty in our minds, convincing us that we don't have what it takes. But resilience is the force that pushes through these fears, that overrides the doubts, and that refuses to let us be defined by them. It is the quiet determination to rise above and to keep going, no matter how many times we stumble along the way. One of the most important aspects of resilience is understanding that it is not a one-time thing. It's not about handling a single challenge and moving on. Resilience is built over time, through every setback, every failure, and every obstacle we encounter. It's about learning from the difficulties we face, adapting, and becoming stronger with each experience. Every time we face a challenge and rise above it, we add to our reservoir of strength. We may not always see it in the moment, but each challenge, each struggle is building us into someone who is capable of handling even greater adversity in the future. The key to resilience is not in avoiding pain or difficulty, but in embracing it. It's an understanding that life will always have its ups and downs, and that we are capable of navigating those turbulent waters. Resilience is about shifting our mindset from seeing difficulties as roadblocks to seeing them as opportunities for growth. When we face adversity, we have two choices. We can allow it to break us, or we can choose to use it to propel us forward. Resilience is the choice to turn our challenges into stepping stones, to use them as the foundation for something greater. Resilience is also about embracing the idea of imperfection. We are all human, and we will all make mistakes. We will all experience failure at some point. But resilience is not about avoiding failure. It is about how we respond to it. It's about getting back up after we've fallen, dusting ourselves off, and continuing to move forward with renewed strength. Failure is not the end. It is a lesson, a chance to grow and become better. Resilience teaches us to see failure not as a defeat, but as an opportunity to learn, to adjust, and to try again. When we face adversity, it is easy to get caught up in the idea that we are not enough, that we cannot handle what life has thrown at us. But resilience is the belief that we are stronger than we think. It is the confidence that no matter how many obstacles we face, we have the ability to overcome them. Resilience is rooted in the understanding that we are capable of more than we realize, that our strength lies not in never falling, but in always rising again. It is the unwavering belief that, no matter how many times we are knocked down, we have the power to rise stronger and more determined than before. In moments of doubt and fear, it can be difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel. The path may seem long and the obstacles may feel insurmountable. But resilience is what allows us to keep moving, even when the way forward is unclear. It is the courage to take one step at a time, to keep going even when we don't have all the answers, and to trust that the effort we put in today will pay off tomorrow. Resilience is about finding strength in the struggle, knowing that every challenge we face is an opportunity to build our character, to refine our skills, and to grow into the person we are meant to be. Another crucial aspect of resilience is the importance of support. It is easy to feel like we have to handle everything on our own, especially when we are facing difficult times. But resilience does not mean isolation. It means finding the strength to ask for help when we need it and to lean on others for support when the road gets tough. No one is meant to face life's challenges alone. Resilience is about building a support system, surrounding ourselves with people who believe in us, who lift us up, and who remind us of our strength when we forget it ourselves. We are stronger together, and resilience is not just about our individual strength, but about the strength of the community we build around us. In the face of adversity, we all have the power to choose how we respond. We can choose to let our fears and doubts control us, or we can choose to rise above them. Resilience is about recognizing that we have the ability to shape our own destiny, to overcome obstacles, and to create the life we desire, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. It is the decision to keep going when everything within us tells us to stop, to rise above our limitations, and to embrace the challenges that life brings. It is the belief that we are unstoppable, that we have the strength to endure, and that no matter what happens, we will always rise again. Thank you.